Hello, hello. Wednesday. It warmed up today. It was like in the 40s. So maybe I'll get daffodils again. um, I was listening to some stuff on the internet with Russell Brand, and they were going on with the situation in Britain. And in some ways, I see their politics and some of their problems sort of mimic some of the situations we have here in a lot of ways, like with the way the big corporations and big business have taken over, the way they had a problem with hiding their pedophiles, and the way they are treating the poor and the middle class in the situation, such as the education, housing, food, and I also was just listening to I can't think of the name of it, but it was about them housing children from the school, which is one of my things. They go from the schoolhouse to the jailhouse, and they were showing the correlation with where in the poor areas, of course, they don't pay as much taxes because, let's just face it, if somebody goes to appraise it, they're not going to appraise it for much, so they don't have to pay as much taxes. So not as much taxes, there's no money going into the school systems, and they're making money off of the jails, and it's very prevalent here in the South and in Memphis, and you could see in the later years how it has affected not only the community and keeping jobs out of the community, that other communities where they have a better education system and not so prevalent on, depending on a prison, in the jail, filtering money, because it actually doesn't filter money into the community. Because the way you put money in the community is to have, when they come out of high school, they're job ready. Because here they come out of prison, and or if they never work again, and it puts and they are damaged goods, and they've been institutionalized and not rehabilitated. So because everything is the whole community is a militarized community, in the sense that it's making a lot of revenue by having what the police call a rotating jail system, and basically a rotating means it's going nowhere, chaos. So they, in their words and their speech, they basically are saying that the court system is corrupted, broke, and it's crazy as hell. To me, that's what they're saying by the vocabulary words they use. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't realize that they were saying the opposite. I'm like, well, that just goes along with the hypocritical racist ways that is of the South. And the thing that if you say oh well, the blacks are racist, the thing is the blacks are the product of a racist, oppressed society that is brutalizing, and because it's that sometimes like a child victim becomes the perpetrator later on, because that's all they knew, that's all they had learned. and then when they get up to introduced to people in that area that are like thinking, it seems perfectly normal until they have to go out of that community or to a place where not everybody's alike thinking, and then they don't seem so normal. But but here they do definitely have a problem with schooling. I was just thinking about this little girl up the block that I had gave that book that I found the book. Who knows? Maybe I should have left it. Maybe a child left it there. But anyway, it was like a pile of people dump their trash over here. Any place they see an empty lot, that's like, oh, that's a city dump. So the city looks like a fucking city dump. Anyway, it's very nasty. So anyway, so I had found this physics book. She said she wanted to be a veterinarian, so I gave her a book. About 2 weeks later, I seen her and she's talking about, well, my mom says, what about the math? I'm like, what about the math? If you go to the store and it costs $3.25 and you give them $5, you better know a little math. They say, oh, I don't use math. You actually use math in everything. If you cook from scratch, you use a little math. If you want to fucking be a dope dealer, you better learn how to use a little math. So you actually use math, because you're talking kilos or quarters, grams. You know what I'm saying? Gallons to inches to pounds. You know what I'm saying? It all adds up. Anyway, but anyway, I haven't seen her in a while. Last I seen her, she was with one of these Hamilton kids, and I know, let's see, the boy she's with, his grandma's about my age. I don't know about what the daughter does, but not much. That his mom, but his mom is nothing but a crackhead. So is the father, and raised by the same grandma. So anyway, and she had a child with Down syndrome. So that's usually caused just straight from the behavior using alcohol and just like doing you while you pregnant, like you ain't like whatever's in your stomach is not gonna affect you one way or the other, which is always a grievous error for a lot of women, because a lot of men, they can't. There's no way they could comprehend at all, even if they see a woman having pregnancy. If they got an IQ that's 90, their comprehension might not be exactly what you want it to be, and that's to empathize or whatever. But so they can't understand at all. So a lot of women, especially around here, I hear men saying some shit, and then the fucking woman's gonna repeat it to me later like that's fucking written in fucking chisel and gold. I'm like, yeah, that's some bullshit. Straight up, I don't care if that man says, oh, that's what all women want. Yeah, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But, you can, at a very young age, be taught that, the way it's supposed to be. It only takes one generation to change a whole, culture, or change a whole, you could change a whole language if you just have the children and you just teach them. So the same way, you could change a whole culture, if you want to make them multiple linguists, whatever. If you want to make them be bilingual, whatever, you could do that at a young age. If you want to train them to go to jail, prostitution, or be a criminal, you know what I'm saying? You do it at a young age. What is coming out of our schools? You was in school, you know what I'm saying? If you went to public school in this United States and you oh, this person can't spell, or oh, this person doesn't know how to do math, or this person don't know how to do that, you should realize that you went to the same motherfucking public school. If you think, oh, well, I went in a white area and I got a little bit better. The politics that are behind it is the politics that are behind it regardless. And if you got a little bit more money in that area, sure, maybe your kids might be on more higher dollar prescription drugs. Maybe they think they're real smart and they make their own crystal meth. But whatever it is right now with the sex, drugs, and prison that we're pumping out of our schools, instead of trying to pump out engineers, architects, the musicians, poets, screenwriters, something, something, but like go from, you know what I'm saying? Because what we're doing to our children is an abomination. And Martin Luther King said, no, he was anti-violent, and hitting or whooping your kid is a very violent act. And when they get 50, they're a very violent, hostile, angry, self-degrading person. It's just trifling and roguish. And we don't want our country to go down the toilet. We might have to think about maybe maybe this super PAC, maybe the Koch brothers in our business, maybe the Rothschilds, maybe their interest is started by some lack of empathy for the reality of this planet being something that's alive, and then we need to keep going. I don't know how long we could keep poisoning our water, poisoning our air, poisoning our children, and it maintain. But anyway, good night.